Next class of your final subject. I have explained you in my last class regarding the swap and the features of swaps and the history of swaps. Today in my class I am going to explain you regarding the types of swaps as such. Uh, the different types of swaps are interest rate swap and currency swap, commodity swap and equity index swaps. So the very first thing is interest rate swap. Let's discuss about that. First of all, the swaps are of different types. I have already said you swap is nothing but it's an exchange. So swaps are of different types. Interest rate swap, currency swap. That is nothing but exchange of interest rates will be done. Exchange of currencies will be done. Exchange of um, commodities will be done, and exchange of equities will be done. So these all are four types of swaps. Now again in detail we are going to study interest rate swap. The very first one, first swap is interest rate swap. I am repeating again, the different types of swaps are interest rate swaps, currency swaps, commodity swaps and equity index swaps. So four types of swaps are there, and again these are divided into many, so that we are going to study in detail. Interest rate swap. So in interest rates, the counterparties exchange only the amount of interest payments on the principal loan amount. So the interest payment here is not mutual. It is paid by one party to other party. In most of the interest rate swaps, the floating interest rates that affects the floating rate of payment is set 1 year before the payment date. The amount of net payment is made one period after the introduction of the swaps contract or swaps originated date. So basically, interest rate swap is nothing but is a financial arrangement between the two parties. Either they will be wishing to change the interest payment or receipts in the same currencies or assets and liabilities as such it has been written. So basically, with mutual consent of both the parties, the amount of interest rates on the principal loan amount, the counterparty exchange the interest payments on the principal loan amount. So it is paid by one party to another party. So the floating interest rate. Now interest rates will be two types, floating and fixed. Fixed means for a loan, if you take a loan and all, you pay a fixed amount of interest. Whereas for paying a loan and all, if you may be according to the market, you may be fluctuating your interest rates depending upon the market. The rate could be moving up and down. So that is nothing but floating interest rates. Now, so in most of the interest rate swaps, the floating interest rates will affect the floating rate of payment because it is set for 1 year before the payment date. Okay. So now here it's been written the basis for which the assets and liabilities are will be fluctuating. The interest rates will be fluctuating is no exchange of principal amount is in the swap. So principal amount will not be exchanged. That is nothing but notional principal. I have explained you in my last class also. Notional principal will not be explained. That is nothing but the basic amount that should be there in the account in the contract as such. So this is the interest rate swap is also known as plain vanilla swap. One of the interest rate swap is plain vanilla swap. That sounds ice creamy, right? Vanilla. So over here. We are going to study in the next slide what is the plain vanilla interest rates and all. Here it is. So for time being, I'm just going to move further. Principal amount applies only for the purpose of calculating the interest to be exchanged under interest rate swap. So principal amount applies only for the purpose of calculating the interest rate. Suppose a certain fixed interest rate, principal amount, let's say 10,000 it is. So not 10% if the interest rate is on 10,000 only, the 10% it should be. Suppose the interest rate is 12% on 10,000 only, you are going to calculate the interest rate. So receiving and giving will be on the principal amount itself. So basically maturity range from a year to 15 years. So they may enter into the contract for 15 years also for exchanging the interest rates. The swap is nothing but they bring together the buyer and the seller who want the these features as such. Features of interest rate swap. Let's deal that. Notional principal. So Interest amount, whether fixed or floating, is calculated on a specified borrowed or lent amount. So either it could be fixed or floating. Okay, it will be calculated on a specified amount borrowed or lent. Parties to do exchange. So notional principal is nothing but it is nothing but interest amount will be fixed. It could be fixed amount or floating, will be calculated on a amount that could be borrowed or lent. That means that they have borrowed, let's say some 2 lakhs rupees they have borrowed or they have lended. So on 2 lakhs rupees only, this interest rate will be fixed as such. Parties do exchange this amount at any time. It remains constant throughout the life of the swap. So the parties to the contract, they exchange these amount and it will be fixed throughout the life of the swap as such, as long as the swap runs between the countries. Next one is fixed rate. This is the rate which is used to calculate the size of fixed payment. Means here, this is the rate which is used to calculate the size of fixed payment. Suppose the swap that you have entered into is a fixed amount of loan and all, something you have taken a fixed amount of loan. So this rate will be used to calculate the size of fixed payment assets. That is nothing but fixed rate. Banks or financial institutions who make market interest rate swap quote the fixed rate. They are willing to pay if they are fixed rate payer in swap. They are willing to receive if they are floating rate player in a swap. Now let me explain you this point. The banks and financial institutions who make market in the interest swap quote the fixed rate. So who make market in the interest rate swap means over here, who do business in the interest rate swap, they fix the one fixed rate will be fixed by them, and they both should be willing, the either of the parties, the fixed rate payer and the floating rate player, it could be, or a floating rate receiver or a fixed rate receiver. What they do, they will be willing to pay if they are fixed rate payers in a swap, and they are willing to receive if they are a floating rate player in a swap. So fixed payment is basically, here you can check it out, P into RFP into FFP. P is nothing but your notional principal payment, RFP is nothing but fixed price, FFP is nothing but the fixed day count fraction asset. That will be their asset. So fixed rate in general terminology, you all are familiar. It is nothing but a fixed amount of interest that is being fixed to pay a loan or to receive a loan as such. Floating rate is one of the market indices like LIBOR and all. As I said, floating rate nothing but first of all, if you take a loan, a fixed amount of interest will be fixed by the bank and all, right? Now, if you are taking a loan from a market and all, your rate will not be like what I can say is, your rate will not be applicable over here. It depends upon the market. If the market is fluctuating, your interest rates also do fluctuate. So floating rate is nothing but one of the rate which will be depending on the market indices like LIBOR. London interbank offer rate it is. London interbank offer rate is nothing but that is a rate that will be fixed in the market. That is according to fluctuation is in the market. You all are like I guess you all are familiar how for every second the price of the securities will go up and down. So for that reason only this market indices also will play an important role, right? Treasury bill rate, primary rate, etc., on which basis the floating interest rate is determined in the swap agreement is nothing but your floating rate as such. So floating payment is equal to P into RFE into FFE. P is nothing but your notional principal. RFE is nothing but the floating rate set on the set data date. FFX is nothing but floating rate day count fraction as such. FFE is actually. So trade date, another important point in interest rate swap. One more feature of interest rate swap. Let's discuss that. Is trade date, effective date, reset date, payment date, trade date. So now these are the different terminologies we will be coming across in a swap, like how we have done in future forwards and all different terminologies were there, right? The same manner here also terminologies will be there. Trade date is nothing but fixed rate payment are normally paid semi-annually or annually. So it could be March 1st or September 1st, like that, if you are paying semi-annually or annually as well. Trade date may be defined as such date on which swap deal is concluded. So swap deal takes place. The deals will be winding up. That date is nothing but trade date, it is known as. Effective date is that date from which the first fixed and floating payments start to accrue. Accrue is nothing but income earned but not received. Okay, income earned but not received, that means you need to receive it yet, you have not received it yet. Okay, a 5-year swap is traded on August 30, 2002. The effective date may be 1st September 2007. And 10 payments dates from March 1, 2003 to September 1, 2007 as such. So this is nothing but your 5-year swap. That is nothing but the effective date is this. The another one is reset date and payment date. So now let's check out this. If example for calculation of fixed and floating interest rate has been given. Let us assume party X on a semi-annual basis pays 7% rate of interest on the notional principal amount and receives from party Y LIBOR plus 30 basis points. The current 6 months LIBOR rate is 6.30% per annum. The notional principal is 35 crores. Notional principal is is nothing but the principal amount, that is the base on which your interest rates will be paid and received, right? So amount that has to be received per fixed rate is nothing but notional principal into days in a period divided by 365 into interest rate divided by 100. Like you remember, if I have done in my last class, this one, not last class, before last class, the FRA, power trade agreement, that was also an interest rate. So what we have done is principal amount we have taken into days divided by 365 into interest divided by 100. This is what we have done. So here also the notional principal is 35 crores. So 35 7 zeros into how many days are there in 6 months? 182 divided by 365 into 7. 7 is nothing but the interest rate that has to be paid divided by 100. So it came to along 12 lakhs 21,644. So amount to be paid per floating rate is nothing but it could be the similar one, but here it is nothing but the LIBOR amount you need to take, because fixed rate is nothing but 7%. If you see over here, pay 7% of interest on a notional principal and receive from party LIBOR plus 30% basis point. So fixed amount is 7 divided by 100, isn't it, interest rate? So here it is 0.30, as here it has been given LIBOR plus 30% basis point. So 0.3 as such. Okay, 6.30 plus 0.30 into 182 by 365 into 35 crores as such. So it will be 11,67,883. In swap, the payment are netted. In this case, party X pays party Y the differences. So 1,22,164 minus 1,67,833 is equal to 53,8, and that means you need to pay this much of amount as such. Okay, I hope I made it clear. So now let's move on to the next slide. So is it clear? The problem to all of you is nothing but he has given me a question. He is asking us to prepare the fixed for floating interest rate. So you have to take the amount that has to be fixed and the amount that has to be floating. So notional principal into the days in a period divided by 365. So 35 crores into 182 divided by 365. Interest rate is how much? 7, isn't it? 7 divided by 100. So here it came to 12,21,644, and the amount that has to be floating is notional principal into days in a period divided by 365 into interest plus base divided by 100. So interest is how much? 6.30. The LIBOR is nothing but the interest rate into 0.30. This is nothing but basis point divided by 100. Now you got it. So it will be 11,67,833. So in a swap agreement, the payment are netted. In this case, party X pays party Y the net difference. 12,21,644 minus 11,67,833. Okay, so this is what it is. Let's move on to the next slide. Now let's study about the types of swaps. The very first one is plain vanilla swaps. Plain vanilla is also known as fixed for floating swap. One party with a floating rate liability is exchanged with the other fixed rate liability. Period ranges from 2 years to over 15 years for a predefined notional principal amount. Zero coupon to floating. Holders of the zero coupon bond get the full amount of loan and missed accrued at the time of maturity. So it's nothing but now I've just read it out. Let me explain you this now. Plain vanilla is nothing but one of the basis interest rate swap, wherein one party makes interest payment on fixed rate basis and the other party on a floating rate option. They are also called as fixed for floating interest rate swap. So the amount of interest rate is calculated as a percentage of swap notional principal or a basis principal amount. A percentage of swap notional or basic principal amount. This percentage is either fixed, floating, or variable. The principal amount is not exchanged. Only the interest rate is exchanged. The party who receives the payment is called fixed rate payer, and the party who receives are called floating payment, and they are determined in their results as such. Okay. This is what is about plain vanilla. The next one is zero coupon floating. Zero coupon floating is nothing but the holder of the zero coupon bond get the full amount of loan and interest accrued at the time of maturity. At the time of maturity of the bond, he gets the full amount. The fixed rate payer makes a bullet payment at the end. The floating rate player makes the periodic payment throughout the swap option period. So over here that means there is no coupon. Coupon means interest rate only. Zero coupon get the full amount of loan interest accrued at the time of maturity. Okay. The fixed rate player makes a bullet payment of the end. Okay. I hope I made it clear. Next one is alternative floating rate. Alternative floating rate. Floating references can be switched to other alternatives as per the requirement of the counterparty. So they can switch from floating to fixed or floating to floating, something like that. Depends upon the agreement of the approval should be there from both the parties. These alternatives include 3 months LIBOR, 1 month the exposure of the other party, and all. That is how we need to do over here. Floating and fixed exchange rate. Our party pays one floating rate, says LIBOR, while the other counterparty pays another prime for a second time period. Their swap deals are mainly engaged. They are mainly used by the non-US banks to manage the dollars as such. So floating for floating also is a sort of disadvantage only. So forward swap is nothing but basically this swap involves an exchange of interest rate payment that does not begin until a specified period. So that is what it is. The swap now the floating from fixed interest rate as such. Okay. The next one is floating for floating over. Forward swap is nothing but this swap involves an exchange of interest rate payments that does not begin until a specific future time point of time. Uh, Swaption is nothing but basically it's a combination of features of derivative instrument, option and swap. So option interest rates are referred to as swaptions. Buyer of the swaption has the right to enter into an interest rate swap agreement which has done so options interest rate swaps are offered as swaption. Buyer of the swaption has already the buyer of the swaption has a right to enter into interest rate swap agreement by some specified date in future. So swaption will specify whether the buyer of the swaption will be able to fixed rate receiver or a fixed rate payer. So buyer existence the option, then the right of option will be become the party. Equity swaps involve exchange of interest payments linked to change in the stock market. So basically, here swaption. I hope I made it clear the swaption and all. Swaption is nothing but an feature of option and mixed feature of option and swap assets. So equity index swaps involves the exchange rate of that are related to change in the market. So a equity swap involves the exchange of interest rates linked to the changes in the stock index. So basically, they are called as equity swaps because the parties dealing in equity swap make payment and received cash flow depending on the return of risk rate of return of one. So basically, the parties return the parties dealing in so the parties dealing in equity swaps make payment of stock index phi depending on the flows depending on the equity of the raised numbers. It is either list or more. So included in the present in case in case the receiver has lost the phase, the change was the um, in case this the क्या था. So it happens individually in the turn and individually. Okay, when you if can happen individually listed or including portfolio, the in swap happen individually uh, listed included per annum. The equity swaps may be whether it's exception. So basically the equity swaps may be individually listed or included in the as negative. So it may happen only it happened only been to be been so to be marked negatively in this case of review. The has to face the losses. So the equity swap help in hedging against the risk of changes in the value of portfolios. So interest rate swap is enough for the day. Tomorrow I'm going to explain you regarding the currency swap and all. See all of you guys in my next class. See all of you guys. Bye all of you.